My name is Carolina Contreras, and I am from the Dominican Republic.
And what do you represent?
I represent um, fearlessness, I represent love, and I represent go get it.
What is your vision and how will it serve the community?
My vision is pretty ambitious. I really hope that um, I'm able to contribute in eradicating discrimination against women of color with curly hair specifically um, in the Dominican Republic and beyond. And I'm doing that through the work I do with my blog, Miss Rizos, and with my hair salon, Miss Rizos Salon.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit more about your beauty salon and how people can, find you and what it stands for? Because as we've discussed, it's more than just a salon, and I want people to understand how important your message is and your contribution is.
So basically, I live in the Dominican Republic. I'm from here. I was raised in Boston, however, and I decided after college to move back to the DR. And here in the DR, I decided to return to my natural hair. I currently have braids, but I have a huge afro that I absolutely love. And I noticed that there weren't many places, or actually no places, where they would exclusively care for our hair. So there's about 57,000 hair salons in the small island of the DR with a population of about 10 million people, 10, 11 million people. 57,000. And out of those, there's maybe like a handful that say that they work curly hair, but they actually have no clue how to care for the health and the well being of the hair. And there's no other salon where they exclusively work with curly hair. So in a way, that's sending a message that our hair is pretty, um, and it's also just empowering to not know what to do with our hair. So I decided to open up a hair salon um, to empower women to wear their hair naturally, to value themselves just the way they are, and to really embrace this really afro textured, curly or wavy hair that comes out of our scalp. And to do that exclusively, to really teach women how to do hairstyles at home and how to care for it. And I think that giving women the tools to care for their hair is in and of itself empowering. But with the salon, we also go beyond hair and we talk about body image, we talk about um, racism and discrimination, we talk about um, all sorts of things that empower us and make us fearless women and allows us to really go after what we want.
Or what exactly inspired you to do this? I know that you are, a woman with curly hair, but what really made you go out and make this happen for yourself and for your community? Because what I'm trying to do is inspire people to take action. And I just wanted to know, like, what really pushed you to do that?
So I've been in the nonprofit NGO world for quite some time, and I've been an activist too since I was 13 years old. So I was like in my hometown of Somerville, Massachusetts, at 13, 14 years old. I was working with legislations on, not smoking in public places and stuff like that. So I've been very involved in community development and changing our community for the better. Um, because it's really important for me personally to leave this world a little better than how I found it. And I want to do that in all the communities that I go. And I experience a lot of self growth within community action. So, for example, my page is visited, and I have over 75,000 followers from around the world, and it's like that's awesome. But I grow from them. I grow from them sharing their experiences with me. I grow from watching them succeed because they share so much on social media of like, I graduated, I have a baby, I'm married, and I'm like, that's awesome. So there's so much self growth that happens within taking action. So I think for me, taking action and leaving the world a better place is super important. And the way I did it was basically just figuring out what it was that I wanted to do, having a really clear vision of that thing that I wanted to accomplish, and just going wholeheartedly into it with fear. I keep saying fearless, but the truth is that I'm constantly afraid and doubtful and insecure because that's just, it makes me human, it makes me who I am. But I'll do it anyway. So my roommate and I have this saying where we say, so fear is not going to leave me. It's going to be there. I'm going to put it, as she says, in my back pocket. It's going to chill with me. But I'm going to go for my dreams. I'm going to go for this idea of changing the world one pearl at a time. And just going after it and understanding that there will be like very long nights. Like last night was a very long night for me. Um, lots of sacrifices, some lonely nights, some lonely trails, but at the end, it's worth it if you really want it. So,
I love that. That is very awesome, and I can relate to that on many levels. So thank you so much. What resources, if any, do you need to achieve your salon's goal or just your mission?
I think that's so important to not do things alone. Never let the fact that you're the only one that wants to do something stop you from going after it at all. Because if it's just you alone in the beginning, go for it. But I think it's really important to um, build a team of people who really love your idea and who want to help. Um, and I think that happens when you do the work. So I've been doing the work for over 5 years, specifically with hair, and like I said, with activism for quite a long time. And when people see that you do the work, they want to be a part of it. It's like you're showing them that they'll be part of something big and something amazing. So having a team who loves what they're doing within whatever it is that you need for in your team is really important. So, for example, my art director, Nicole Ramirez, she is so passionate about art. She's so passionate about design and innovation and marketing that having her on my team as the designer of my logos and my artwork and social media platforms and stuff like that, it's been super clutch and key because she loves what she does. She believes in this Rizos, and we make an awesome team. So my team continues to grow, and thanks to them, we're able to accomplish more and more of our salon goals and more of just the general Miss Rizos goals. So kind of learning how to delegate, letting go of certain responsibilities, letting other people have a sort of a piece of your baby and sort of walk this baby, teach it how to walk. And they say it takes a village to raise a child, and it really does take a village to bring into fruition an idea like the salon and like Miss Research. So yeah, so just learning how to choose the right people to be around you and to be a part of your project. And something I forgot to say earlier when I said that I've been a part of the nonprofit world for a long time is that I know the way that NGOs work, and it's really difficult to constantly be dependent on grants and on government money and all these different ways of funding your project that I wanted to do it. I wanted to work in the community, but I wanted to do it through my own business. So I wanted to do it through a way where I'm generating the income, where I'm generating the economic power to put back in the community. So doing that is really empowering as well. Being able to be an entrepreneur, being able to be a Black woman with a big afro in the zona colonial, which is such a man-dominated uh, space with businesses that are dominated by both men and international as foreigners, basically. So I'm a Dominican woman with a big afro in a very uh, sort of boutique luxe space in the capital of the Dominican Republic with her own business. And I think that that's really, really important in and of itself.
I know you've been saying the salon and Miss Rizos. I wanted to clarify to people that the salon is called Miss Rizos, and they can follow you how on the internet. I know you have a lot of different social platforms that you're on, so I just want to let the people know how they can access you.
Yeah, so first started MissRisos.com, which is the blog, and Miss means like Miss Universe, and Rizos is pearls in Spanish, so Miss Pearls. So MissRisos.com, and there's social medias that are Miss Rizos that they're mine, my space, which is basically like I upload my life on there and not so much on my personal Facebook or anything like that. So that's Miss Rizos, like on Facebook, Miss underscore Rizos on Instagram and Twitter. But then the salon has its own social media platforms. So Miss Rizos Salon has an Instagram, Miss Rizos Salon has a Twitter and a Facebook. Um, so yeah, so I have two separate entities. I take care of my social media because it's much more like a lifestyle blog. It's much more like a documentation of my past and my process and experience. And then the salon is a much more, um, you know, not legit, but like the salon. It's we talk about tips and tricks, and we talk about sales or discounts and stuff like that on there too. And that's managed by a social media team.
So the last two questions I'll ask you, they're a bit more general. And the first of the two questions are, what is your definition of peace?
Peace. I actually, when I was 21 years old, or 20, I tattooed myself a small dove, and in symbolizes peace, obviously. And I majored in college in peace and justice studies. So that was like my major. And I feel like for me, I don't have a specific definition for peace, but I think that the work I do embodies what peace means to me. It means um, working on something you absolutely love. I feel like Howard Thurman once said that the world needs more people doing what they love so that they can come alive. And I feel like we would have a much better world if people were out there doing what they love and sort of going forward with their passion. So for me, doing Miss Rizos, not just doing what Miss Rizos does, which is empowering women and eradicating discrimination against curly hair, women and men and children, but actually being Carolina Contreras and being an entrepreneur and facing my challenges every day and moving forward with my dreams um, allows me to embody peace and allows me to embody what it's like to feel alive, come alive by doing what you really love.
And what words of wisdom would you like to give to our youth?
I think that something that worked for me, and now moving on to almost my 29th year in this world, something that worked for me as a young teenager and continues to work for me now is taking risks. So the right risks, of course, right? Taking risks and saying yes to really crazy things like doing an internship in a very odd place around the world and not letting the fear of not knowing what to expect there hold you back. Taking risks like studying abroad for a few months or, you know, going after that major that makes absolutely no sense to anyone but you and just really moving forward and doing it afraid, understanding that we fight so much every day to really try and eliminate doubt, eliminate fear, and eliminate insecurity. I feel like we spend so much energy on that, and I did that so much as a teenager. Um, but if we learn how to acknowledge them and not let them um, influence our actions, I think we would just really move forward more with the things that we want to do. So I wish I had had that tidbit of information when I was younger to not always fight for being fearless, but to learning how to do it afraid.
Is there anything else that you would like to add to this interview before we conclude?
Well, you know what? Something that a lot of people throw out there is that you need to trust the universe. And at first, I was like, yeah, whatever. And one of the things I'm doing a lot lately is trusting the universe and taking leaps of faith and those risks that I just mentioned, knowing that God or this higher being that you might believe in or the universe has your back and will conspire with you, as Paulo Coelho said in his book The Alchemist. And it just really does happen. You know, I said to the world, I want to go to Colombia. I want to start traveling to Latin America with Miss Rizos, and I was invited to speak at a university in Colombia, and I'll be in Cartagena and in Barranquilla, Colombia, in 2 weeks, in a week and a half. I'll be in New York City, and I'll be in Boston in November. I'll be doing an event in both of those cities. So look out for that in Ministry. So social media, the events in the US are in Spanglish, so I totally speak lots of English mostly, and I can speak Spanish too at the events. And so yeah, so it's exhausting, but it's really exciting.
You are awesome, and thank you so much just for sharing and meeting with me. And I wish you the best in your endeavors, and you just keep rocking on because you are amazing.
Thank you so much for the interview and for taking this resource and myself into consideration for this interview. So